had a team of magical energies contributing to all of your asks, your manifestation wish list, would you actually receive from them? Welcome to Tools to Manifest Your Dream Life with myself, Glenyce Hughes. I am so incredibly grateful that you are here. And if you're watching this a video, as you saw at the beginning, there was a sweet little puppy beside me. His name is Percy. We are at an incredible penthouse in London right now. And I guess I didn't get permission from Percy. So he got up and went on the couch over there. This show is an invite to a brand new reading that I have available. Messages from your manifestation team. A personalized intuitive reading where I tap into your energetic squad, your team, all of the magical energies that are contributing to you, even your future self that has what you are asking for, and deliver the messages that they want you to hear right now. We can do it via video where I record it and send it to you, or we can do it on Zoom as a live reading. The links are above or below. If you don't see a link, you can find it in the show notes, or just reach out to me and I will send it to you. So would you actually receive from these incredible magical beings that are continuously contributing? Yeah, I know, right? A lot of times we assume we are, or we just ask, and not always are we actually receiving from them. And what does that really even mean? Asking is one energy where we're asking for what we would like, or with assistance for what we would like. And the receiving of it is actually the receiving of the request of the whatever it is that they're going to assist. If you could imagine a person in your life and you asked them to hand you a piece of paper, and before they had a chance, you walked away. That's what I mean. And energetically, we're often not receiving from our team. We're doing the right steps. So we're asking, we know we're supposed to ask, but then the actual receiving of it is a completely different energy, and one that we usually have to learn or work at to actually get the muscle of. So before we can talk about receiving from your team, let's take a moment and talk about who is on your team. In this show, we're going to talk specifically about your manifestation team. So who is on your manifestation team? Everybody's is different, although I would say that everybody that I've ever read for has a mix of them. So it's not ever just one energy that is on your manifestation team. There's usually always a mix, and that mix can include, but maybe not, the universe, your spirit guides, angels, people who have crossed over, nature spirits, fairies, on and on and on. And my absolute favorite, the one that I love connecting with when I am reading for somebody, is their future self. Now, what do I mean by future self? This is where we have many future selves of ourself. And when somebody is manifesting towards something specific, so let's say they're looking for a new career, then the future self in that particular reading would actually be specific to them choosing the career that lights them up, the career that's going to make the most incredible difference in their life. And so tapping into that future self that is living that dream, that's an incredible energy to tap into, because one, they know all the steps that the current self took to get to that future self. And so it's incredibly magical. Now, of course, so is communing with the universe, and so is communing with spirit guides and all of the other energies. But I just have to say, my favorite to connect with is the future self in having actualized that manifestation. For myself, I don't tend to connect with my future self with what I might judge as smaller manifestations, but with the bigger ones, or the ones that maybe feel a little less possible. Those are the ones where I will spend a good, say, 5, 10, 20 minutes in an energetic exercise, a guided meditation where I'm connecting with the future self that has it or is experiencing it, and receiving from them in energetic ways, because often what's blocking us from actually having that or receiving it or whatever it is in terms of that bigger ask is energetic stuff that a lot of times we don't even know are there, like energetic blocks and past life stuff and all that. So that's usually when I will go to my future self in that situation. Now, with your manifestation team, how they communicate with you is about as varied as your manifestation team itself. There's so many different ways, and each one of us has easier ways for them to communicate with us. So it is really about getting to know yourself and start paying attention if you haven't been. And if you have, then start strengthening that awareness of what's going on around you. Like signs and synchronicities, those are often your manifestation team assisting you, letting you know you're on the right track. Gut instincts and nudges can also be a way that your manifestation team is communicating with you, where sometimes it just feels like you have to do the thing. Like you can't not do the thing. You keep thinking about, I was thinking about back in October of 2022, and there had been a woman I was following and she does business stuff. Her name is Katya. And I was receiving her emails about a certain launch she had coming up, and it was for a $2,000 program. So it was a big investment. And the deadline for that investment was in particular that night at midnight. And I went to bed, I hadn't chose it, and I couldn't go to sleep. I kept thinking about this program. I knew the deadline was approaching. It was going to be about 2 a.m. our time, but I go to bed pretty early. It was like 9 p.m. my time, and I was just tossing and turning and thinking about this, and I was like, you know what? I am just going to go get up and purchase this program because I wasn't going to sleep. And I did. I purchased it, and I went on to make, probably close to, at this point, maybe 40,000 from that program. Yeah. And I still use the program to create other programs. So it is continuously making me money. And so that's sort of a thing where I couldn't go to sleep. Or the way that hubby and I live now, where we are pet and house sitting around the world, when we apply for a sit, if we don't get it, I know that that is my team assisting me in there's something better. There's always something better if it doesn't work out. And I used to struggle with that, but at this point, I just trust it. It's so much easier once you start trusting. And once you have the evidence to start trusting, not that you should need the evidence, I get it, but it's easier to do when you have the evidence. Another sign can be like emotional resonance, like goosebumps or angel bumps, as some people like to call them, when they're talking about something or thinking about something. There can be just an energetic match where you just know, you maybe meet a person and you just know you're going to be lifelong friends, or you just know that they're the person who's going to assist you in the next part of your life or something like that. And of course, you can receive messages through your dreams when you're sleeping at night. You can also receive them through meditations where you're maybe just zoning out and you're in just an incredible peaceful space, and all of a sudden you have what you might think is a thought come through, but possibly it is a message from your team. Now, I have worked with people for over 20 years, working with their teams of some sort and another. And one of the reasons that people miss the messages is doubt. They don't trust themselves. They don't trust that it's from their team. They believe that they're making it up and all of that. And it's a muscle to build, to trust yourself. And the only way to do it is to trust yourself, is to just commit. You know what? One time today, I'm going to trust myself. When I receive one message, I'm going to trust myself. And the joke that I always make is that unless the message is telling you to jump off a bridge, listen, trust it, because it's the only way you're going to build that muscle to trust yourself. So please trust yourself. Recognize when you're doubting and just take a moment. You don't have to be unkind to yourself. You don't have to be rude. Take a moment, take a breath, and just can even put your hand on your heart and be like, it is safe to trust myself. Now, if that's a little bit of a stretch, what you could also do is say, hey, guys, that's how I usually refer to my team. Guys, be louder, be clearer. I'm not willing to trust this right now. Be so clear that I can't not trust it. Ask for what you would like. And of course, a big one, and I've been talking about this now for a few months, is nervous system dysregulation. When our nervous system isn't regulated, it is probably impossible to trust ourselves, to receive the message, to have any sort of a clarity. So of course, I believe it was last week's show, I gave 2 processes. One, I walked you through an energetic exercise, and the other one was I walked you through emotional freedom technique, like an energetic tapping. Either of those work great to regulate your nervous system, and there's so many other things. If you just Google it, you will find lots of options, but start taking a few minutes every day to regulate your nervous system. It will allow you to connect with your manifestation team or any energetic team that you would like to so much easier. So in terms of receiving from your energetic manifestation team, what you want to look at is when you're asking, are you taking a moment or 2 or maybe longer where you're dropping your barriers and you are energetically receiving? And so sticking with my analogy earlier, where you walk into a coworker's office and ask them for a piece of paper, but you walk out before they can give it to you, what if you just hung out for a little while with your energetic team and allowed them to gift you and allowed yourself to receive it? As I talked about earlier, so much of what we require is energetic, and I know that our logical brain likes to tell us otherwise, and we need to do and work, and yes, there's action to take, of course, and sometimes that action is receiving. Yeah. Can you just feel what your body does energetically when you actually receive? So imagine your team right now, or get a sense of them, or feel them, or perceive them, or whatever works for you. Imagine them all standing in a circle around you. Even if you don't know who they are, it doesn't matter. Just imagine or sense a bunch of energies all standing around you. Yeah. And imagine dropping those barriers to really receive from them. And I like to use the phrase barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. As I'm doing that, I'm pushing all of the walls and barriers down from all levels, layers, lifetimes, universes, realities, anywhere not mentioned, barriers down. And then you could even ask, what would it be like to receive from you all right now? My energy completely shifted with that. Like, just practice receiving. We are infinite beings. Infinite receiving is our natural state. Infinite gifting is our natural state. It's just that we spend a lot of time in our head, and there's very little gifting and receiving when we're operating from our head. This is an energetic practice. Yeah. Dropping any other barriers to receive from them even more. Yeah. So, start asking, start receiving, and really allow them to show you, to guide you, to inspire you, to direct you to the most magical life that you've never even imagined possible. Now remember, you are never manifesting alone. You have an incredible team of energetic beings that have your back, that are walking with you, that are guiding you, that are giving you nudges, that are showing you the way that you can connect with, which can make the whole journey so much easier, so much lighter, so much more magical. And if you would like me to connect with your team for you, check out the links. Have a great week, sweet friends. I look forward to chatting again next week.